not appropriate.
Oh, mercy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Orioles had the Blue Jays down to their last out in the 10th inning, but Randall Grichuk walks it off for Toronto, or should I say Buffalo, in a 5-4 Blue Jays win over the Orioles, and we're breaking it down here on MASN All Access Extra. So we bring in Jim Hunter. Jim, heartbreaker in this one. The Orioles battled back twice. They got a Renato Nunez solo homer to tie things up in the 8th. Then they took the lead on Hanser Alberto's 4th hit of the night in the 10th, but Grichuk has been an Orioles killer this season.
Yeah, you know, Paul, when you look at games like this, you're reminded of what Brandon Hyde reminds everybody of all the time, that this is a season to learn what you have. And with Sulser out there and he's an out away, it was setting up perfectly for him. First base is open, but what a tough decision, not only for the pitching coach, Doug Brocail, but for the skipper. Do you pitch to Grichuk there, who's been an Oriole killer? Maybe the law of averages is in your favor to pitch to him. Or do you walk him and bring Vladimir Guerrero up, who had a good night as well? But I think these are instances that will tell the opportunity to go out there. It wasn't necessarily a bad pitch. It was the location that did him in, because he allowed Grichuk to extend his arms. He made very good contact. And Grichuk is a power hitter. He always has been since he was a young player with the Cardinals. So, you know, it's a tough break. I mean, it was setting up perfectly. As you mentioned, they rallied on the Nunez home run to tie it, forced the extra innings, and then they get the run on the blue pit by Alberto. But again, you got to get 27 outs, or in this case, it was 30 outs, and they only got 29.
And Jim, the Orioles have utilized small ball pretty well in the 2020 season. We've seen guys like Cedric Mullins drop down excellent bunts like he did in that 10th inning to move Rio Ruiz over to third. Brandon Hyde has not been afraid to use small ball and to use different tactics to get runners over and to get them in. What did you think of Brandon Hyde's decision-making in this one to try to force some runs across?
I love bunts. I think any opportunity you have, and I know this goes against analytics where they tell you a bunt is giving the opponent an out, so go ahead and take the out if you're the opponent. But especially with these new rules where you have a runner at second base to begin the inning, why not bunt him over, get him to third? And in this case, in the 10th, the Blue Jays pulled the infield in because they wanted to cut the run off at the plate. And that's the only reason that ball fell in for Alberto, because he popped it up to no man's land because Biggio, the second baseman, was drawn in, couldn't get back on it. And as a result, Rio Ruiz was able to score from third because he was able to read it. It wasn't a tag situation necessarily. So he played it, a third of the way down and was able to score easily. And I just think anytime, especially with the Orioles, they've been somewhat inconsistent in the run production on the year. You know, some nights they go out and they really have the bats going top to bottom. And then other nights like tonight, they struggle. So to me, anytime you can get a run. Now, I'm not suggesting let anyone go up there and bunt. Mullins, he needs to be able to bunt, or he's, you know, that's a weapon that he needs to utilize. And it was a perfectly executed bunt. And then in the bottom of that inning, Joe Panik, he did a terrible job of trying to sacrifice. He popped it up to the pitcher, and it looked like it was going to work out for the Orioles' favor. But I'm a big believer, especially with these new rules, if you have a chance to manufacture a run, those runs are big because it puts the pressure on the other team, especially when you're on the road and they're down to their last at-bat.
Well, Jim, the last time we had you on MASN All Access Extra, John Means pitched again tonight and looked better than he did the last time, gave up those back-to-back solo homers in the 4th inning, but he was cruising through those first 3 innings. Were you encouraged by what you saw from Means tonight?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I thought his breaking ball was really, really good. He got a lot of what I call bad takes, meaning the hitters look fooled to me. So it was a bad take on their part, but it was set up by the way Means was snapping off that breaking ball. And I thought his changeup was very effective as well tonight. He got some really good swings and misses on that pitch. But again, unfortunately for John, they just don't seem to score when he starts. And it's hard to pitch a shutout, especially in the American League East. And he just continues to get hurt by that home run ball. He gives up 2 runs on a pair of solo home runs In this case, it was back-to-back. But I think now, as you and I talked the last time he pitched, he's now getting back into that starter's routine where, although in this case it was delayed one day, he was supposed to pitch yesterday, but still he's getting into a routine where he's able to do the side work in between the starts, do his prep work in terms of his conditioning and all that. And I think now, because he is on that routine, he's getting back to what you would say, in-season form because of the interruption that he had interrupted that coming into this part of the season. But I thought he looked really good, and he certainly deserved better. And the more they can stretch him out and get him the 5 innings, who knows, maybe next time out he'll have a chance to win.
Well, Jim, I'm glad that you were able to lend your analysis to this one. I'm glad the Hunter household has power again. I know you guys had a brief interruption.
Yeah, I almost had to take a rain check. I'm sitting there getting ready to put those extra on, and all of a sudden we're sitting there. My wife Bonnie's getting candles all over the house. I had to cook outside. Thank God for the propane grill out there. At least we were able to have dinner. But fortunately, it came back in time, so I was able to watch because, as you say, I seem to be on. You always call me when Means is going to pitch, so I guess I'll see you in 5 days, huh?
Yeah. Hopefully you have power for the full game next time we have you on. But Jim Hunter, thanks so much for hopping on MASN All Access Extra to break down this game.
All right, Paul, always a pleasure. Have a great night.